This is Life in Bama. On this cold and windy day in Birmingham, we are going to Ground Floor Contemporary, where Tara Stallworth Lee is in her studio, creating a unique piece of art.
I am working on a handmade paper belt that goes to this handmade paper work in progress dress. So I'm adding little pieces of paper. I'm practicing sewing and I'm adding texture and hopefully more interest to this belt. Yeah.
Why are you using paper for this dress?
Oh, wow. I have made paper for a very long time, and I like the process of handmade paper. So it's something I'm very familiar with and something I have on hand and I enjoy doing. I was asked to be a part of an artist portrait project, another artist photographer who takes pictures of artists, and she asked us to come up with some ideas. And I'd always wanted to make a dress out of paper. So that gave me a deadline. It gave me a reason to do it. So I started the dress just after the new year. So that's the short answer. Maybe a long answer to why. But I don't really know why I wanted to make a dress out of paper. I've been thinking about that. My mom did a lot of sewing when I was growing up. I think a lot of mothers did. So she made a lot of our clothes, and I liked being in fabric stores, and I really liked looking at patterns and fabric, but I never really had the interest to sew. I did a lot of cross stitching, and do you remember latch hooks? So I don't know. I think I've always liked the idea of textiles and fabric a lot, but I don't want to be locked into a pattern or maybe rules of how to put something together. So I approached it differently. So it's working with the medium to figure out a way to do something that I wanted to do in my own way, if that makes sense. So I approached it like a child. Like if you give a child some materials, or if a child says, I want to make a dress, and then they just figure it out. So I put no constraints, no rules, no pressure. Like, we'll just see. So it's very, you can tell, like, that's not even. And I just cut until I get what I want. So a lot of it's just to have fun. I didn't have to do it for anybody but myself. And yeah, so that's a lot of reasons why.
Well, tell us about the paper. Have you tried to make it more fabric-like, or what's the deal with it?
Yes, I wish I had examples with me. I don't. But so this paper is typically, the abaca is really stiff. I'm going to give an idea. So this is the same kind of paper. This is an abaca, banana leaf fiber, and it dries like this, like a really thick piece of paper. But to make it more like fabric, like this is more pliable, more flexible, and it's even softer to touch. That's part of the fun of it, is I just crumple it up. And so the more our hands and our oils touch these fibers, it softens and it becomes more fabric-like. So that's what I did to all of this to create fiber. More of a textile, I guess. Yes.
But you have made this paper.
I did. Yes, all of it. Probably, I don't know, several hundred sheets. Mm-hmm.
Did you make it for this project, or have you had it?
Sort of both. It's actually a part of that project, which is a personal project, the cranes. It all relates. It has store receipts that I saved for a long time for a personal reason. And so I added that to the pulp. But I actually, so this right here, this little sculpture right there, or that you've seen a lot, I was going to make a dress for her for that piece, and I probably still will. And so that all these things go together. It's it's years long. I mean, I've been working on it little by little, but it's in my head. It'll all come together at some point. So I didn't intend to make a dress for me, but I intended to make a dress. Yes.
You're right. So this is not a dress to be worn. This is a dress to be, and will it be displayed as it is?
Yes and no. I've entered it in a show. If it gets in a show, it has to. I'll make a few modifications, but I want to keep working on it. I want to keep changing it and using it for different things. So we'll see. I wore it for the portrait. So Monday I had the portrait done, and so I wore the dress in the portrait. Yes.
I don't think I've seen that yet, have I?
Probably not. No.
That's why I didn't know.
Yes. This is brand new. I just got it, I think last night she sent it to me, the picture. So, yeah.
Well, what did that mean to you when you wore the dress?
So I titled it, just not thinking about it. And what came out was, I am not my mother. So I felt like a child. I was telling her about the approach to making it and feeling very free, and I wasn't locked into perfection or certain guidelines or rules, or nobody could judge me. It was mine alone, and so that's kind of how I felt in it. It was mine. I made it, and it didn't matter what anybody else thought about it. That's kind of how I felt. So I was proud to wear it. I was proud I made it, not really knowing what I was doing.
So it's more of a release than it is an homage.
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely.
Tell me about the stand.
So I collaborated with someone because I needed if I'm showing the dress, or just to have it to work on. So it's not super fancy, but I like it. I made it. I learned how to use some tools in a wood shop. So these came from where I'm from. These pieces of heart pine, and they were scrap. You can see the old nail holes, but they were from an old building near my hometown. They were laced to my family, and this is old copper piping. Anyway, that's it. That's about all there is to it, but I'm really proud of it because this wood I used a couple of different tools in the workshop to make it.
You got to do a few different things with it, huh?
Yeah. So it's a full specialized little stand for dress.
Is it as much part of the piece as the dress is?
I think so. And it's supposed to be about my height. Yeah, I feel like it is. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. It's a T too. We'll probably add to this too, but anyway, it's a functional piece that I like a lot. Again, it's like being a kid, right? I'm so proud of this. So, yeah.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. After you subscribe, a little bell will appear, and if you click on that, you'll receive notifications when I've posted a new video. Subscribe to my channel by clicking on this icon. We will see you next time on Life in Bama.